Alright, hello. I'm gonna go through me making a compilation medley, or in this case it's gonna be one of the Carpal Tunnel Hero 3 tier medleys now. It's not necessarily going to be a tutorial, but maybe if anyone was ever interested in making something like this, this is how I do it, and it works pretty well, and it doesn't take too long. So you only really need two things, and that would be Moonscraper and Audacity, which is embedded within a folder. I already have it open, and that's pretty much all you need. So the first thing we're going to do is actually make the folder for this song. So I'm doing tier 89, so I'm just going to copy across. The specifics of it being CTH3 don't really matter in this case. So, okay, I'll delete all this stuff because it's irrelevant. And that's that. And next thing we want to do is open up Moonscraper twice. And there we go, and I'm just going to make a new chart here. That previous one was just the previous medley, nothing to worry about. And we're going to select some audio that's long enough for the medley. So this one I've seen, it doesn't seem like it's going to be too long, so we'll pick, I don't know, La La Last, and it's definitely not going to be as long as this. It doesn't matter which audio it is, as long as we have a blank chart with enough space for us to work with. Okay, now, the song selection, I mean, if you were making one yourself it wouldn't matter, but as it turns out I've already marked a lot of this down. So for this tier we got 3 songs. Apparently Wicked Bizarre is going to be the outro, so we'll just leave that there. And Dark Matter I'll put intro question mark. That just means you know, the solo is probably pretty near to the beginning, so we'll go ahead and open up on the right hand side Dark Matter from tier 89. Okay, and we'll find, alright, so how far is it to the solo? It's pretty much straight away, right? What is that? 20 seconds. I mean, we can get away with having that in there. So what I'm going to do is actually ignore that first measure, and what I'm going to actually, it's also worth knowing when the solo marker ends in this case, and indeed it does end when theme 1A starts, so we'll just copy and paste this part here, like the tempo and sections and stuff, from here to here. Control C, leave a measure here and paste it right there. And now we will grab from solo end to the first note and paste it here. And now we have Dark Matter, the first section of it, pasted in, and I'm going to check that the solo ends there, and it is. And also check that the time signature's correct. Okay, so we haven't got the last note, so we'll go ahead and copy that across as well. And that's good. And now what we want to do is, we've copied and pasted that bit of audio over, so I'm going to get the audio from this part and start making the files. So I'm going to have a new blank Audacity file. And that's the previous one. And we're going to make a blank track, stereo track, and we're going to import the audio from Dark Matter, which, as we saw, is in tier 89. That's what this is all about. And we're going to see where the very start of this section is. So we can see right here it's 2.72 seconds over there. So we're going to select before 2.72, 2.720, all the way to 1:27:490, and we're going to Control C and paste this here at 2 seconds. Boosh, there it is. And for 2 seconds, the reason that is because that's where our chart begins. One measure of 4:4:120 is 2 seconds. So there we go. That's that bit, and then we more or less rinse repeating. So Dark Matter has 2 solos. As I already checked all this stuff before, but if I didn't know, I'd be checking this before I start pasting in. So we'll find the second solo most likely where it says guitar solo 2, and where does it end? Theme 3A, yeah, and that's the last solo. So right, I'm gonna shift the solo beginning because I'm gonna paste it from the beginning of the measure. So actually it looks like this yellow note is actually the first of the measure. So we're going to copy from there. Well, actually no, first things first. I'm going to plonk the BPM here just to get the consistent and make sure we're still in the same time signature. So we're in 4/4, so we'll paste it there as well. Copy to theme A to the tempo changes at the end. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to do. I'm going to mark this first section of it as being the song itself, Dark Matter. So there we go, now the sections are good. Okay. So now we got the tempo for this second part, and we just need the last note. I'm gonna just make my own solo end event, and I selected too much, that's fine. And check the end. We'll add a solo end marker, which is, I'm not sure what note step this is, so we'll just put it this far in. Okay, and that's that, and then same again. I'm going to paste in some audio, so this time we're starting at 512, 310, up until 618, 380, Control X, Control Z, doesn't matter because it's the last time we'll be using this. And I just got rid of the audio because that means we're done with it. Okay, so that's Dark Matter. Now I will wipe that from this so we don't get confused. Next one is Daddy, Brother, Love a Little Boy, so we'll add that. Only one solo from it. Go to it, no need to save the changes we made. And we'll check when the solo starts. It starts indeed. Quite weirdly actually, so... So this song is offbeat, which is always frustrating for this sort of stuff. So how are we going to tackle this? This is the sort of only real thinking, only part that you have to think about. So with it being offbeat, I can either make it a 7/8 here, or I can have the very last, you know, this note being in the medley, and sort of cut the syllable off of the singing and all that. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to make it 7/8 to avoid that sounding very all janky. So no, 7. Wait, what the hell? Wait, hold on. What, did I pick the wrong measure here? I did. This one's in 7/8. Okay, and we'll just shift this out of our way. The solo end can be in the last note. And also it started offbeat. And we're going to pretend like this is the same as a single note here as well. Everything's much nicer if you start it on measure lines. So 4/4, yeah, we'll add a 4/4 in there just in case there was some tempo funny business in Dark Matter. And do the same until our 7/8 measure. Add it to the title, which hopefully I remember how it is. There it is. And we'll copy from solo end to our beginning of solo. Check that it's all worked okay. Yes, it has. And now we will get our audio. So we're just going to import said audio from, well, into Audacity. 219, 930 up until 251, 180, actually really close for some reason, and paste that right at the end, merge it. Okay, and that's that song added. So now we've got 4 wicked bizarre guitar solos we need to add, so we'll go and load that now. This song has no audio, so all you do is just select it, and there it is. Okay. So I'm just gonna check now because bit peace of mind. It is just solo to solo. Could probably possibly even merge these first two together, but we won't. This song is pretty much just all solo, isn't it? And then I'm guessing it's this to the very end, and it is. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, which we will want this time because we had the 7/8 over here. And all the way to chorus 2. Paste it in. Song title. Okay, and this one will just break the sustain before it goes over the measure and bring the solo end here and copy the solo, which very nicely the charter is put on the measure line, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, that's the first bit. Now for the audio, same thing we've done all the way. So here we have 55, 850 to 157, 390. Copy that, paste it at the end. And now the same for all these other solos. So we'll add our tempo on the measure. And then I'm assuming the song's all in 4/4. But just to be sure, what I want at the beginning. Copy it all. And looks like the same thing happens here. Ah, that's interesting. The screen's right before. There it is, paste it in. Solo end. And this time we got 217 or 70 to 318, 610. Copy it up, paste it at the end. Next up, solo 3. Looks like it's at a different tempo now. Okay, so if you want to just copy the solo end across, we can do that now. Having that selected. First note of the solo, paste. And it's the end. And once again, I mean, it's in 4/4. If there's any tempo, like time signature misalignments, we'll find out when we save, which I should have been doing more often, but we'll all we do to save the chart is obviously save and just title in notes, and there's no ruse. Should be saying more often than I am, but I always forget. Okay, and this once again we'll get our audio. So it's, you know, it's repetitive, but it's easy. Four, 340. Control C. Paste. And our final solo. Looks like it's dead on the money, and we're just going to copy the whole thing, the rest of the song. Don't even know where it ends. the solo end to the first note. Paste that in there. Check that it's gone through okay, and it has. Okay, and we'll get our beginning. 531/060, and we'll just type in an arbitrary 954 because the song is not that long. Cut it off and paste it at the end. And there we go, the extra signs we got doesn't matter. That's the end of the medley, so we're going to export it as MP3 to tier 89. Solo medley. Title it song. Okay, and all this stuff matters. Close this down. No, we don't want to save changes. And that's going to give us some audio for our chart. Okay, we'll minimize Audacity. Change our song properties to be the song, and now we're going to check that our audio is okay. Which hopefully it will be, so we'll get the speed back to normal. So the first one just is right here. Seems good. You can see how a sustain trick pretty much worked. You wouldn't know that was originally sustain. So it's a bit weird, but we're all good there. Not the best transition, but it works. Okay then. Yep, hardly the most creative or best transitions in the world, but you know, it works. And the next thing we're going to do is erase all the stop bar, because a lot of these are going to not make any sense. So yeah, this is the more dull part of it, though it doesn't take very long. Not too many more to go. And that'll be the last one. Okay, before we add stop bar in, I'm going to do the easier job of adding lyrics for song titles. So it's dead easy. Start the phrase, put in our lyric song title, in this case Dark Matter to begin with. Go to the end of this where the next song is, phrase end, and do the same again. So we have these three flags every time a song changes. The only thing to be aware of is that like hyphens don't work, you have to put equals in instead, which is a bit annoying, but it's hardly the worst thing in the world. Put our lyric and make sure we put our lyric end, otherwise I'll screw everything up. Okay, and now we'll begin to add our stop bar in. Just start at an arbitrary point, this seems fine, and make it a measure, page up 10 times, or 11, and make our next measure. Unless there's no nodes, then we can go above or behind. Okay. While I'm doing this, I'm going to be thinking about what difficulty rating to give this. And probably a 7 or an 8, right? Right, I'm not going to put star power over stuff that's like ridiculous, because it just seems so unfair. Joe's solo? That was Joe. We can probably put one more in right about here. Okay. Alright, last thing to do is add our tags. So 2 solo medley. Always just various artists with no album. Same genre, solo medley. Year, this year, and we'll give it an 8 just because of the drill solo. Previous start time, I'll just put in some arbitrary, I don't know, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Their icon, and we'll give it the last track. Okay, final save, and now we'll go on to CH, in which case I can actually go to one of these things, not that. There we go, alright, and we'll scan it in. And luckily I've already done the scan, so it won't take very long. And now we're just going to preview it, check that it's okay, which it probably will be. The only thing that could really go wrong at this point is the lyrics. But it's good to actually see what the solo looks like, because obviously I wasn't checking. Also check with other songs to see the metadata is right, and it is. Okay, now let's see it. And that's that. Alright. Whole thing done and reviewed in about half an hour, you see. It's not a bad way of doing it. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you all later.